The WWE issues public statement after Drew McIntyre verbally assaults Cody Rhodes' wife. The worst WWE moments of 2025. The Rock is done with the WWE. Devastating news on Dominic Mysterio. Oba Femi's sudden push comes under question. Roman Reigns' WrestleMania opponent revealed. A WWE star breaks silence after a backstage attack. A huge WWE return is planned for 2026. Terrible news for Drew McIntyre. Let's dive right in. The worst WWE moments of 2025. The year 2025 was an up-and-down ride for WWE. The company started on a high note with its debut on the streaming platform Netflix, but things got a bit shaky in the middle. Especially, WrestleMania 41 turned out to be a damn squib with an underwhelming main event. Moreover, the way Triple H's creative team managed some of the talents was also a subject of debate. The fans did voice their criticism, but the management turned a deaf ear to it. To make matters worse, John Cena's poor retirement tour added fuel to the fire. It's not that the promotion didn't have good moments this year, but certainly there were some very bad decisions. Number 1. Jey Uso's WWE Royal Rumble win. One of the worst things to have happened this year was Jey Uso's Royal Rumble win. Even though Jey was highly over with the fans and selling record merchandise, booking him to win the Rumble match over John Cena wasn't a wise decision. Jey later went on to beat Gunther at WWE WrestleMania 41, and the match's finish was a big letdown. The company booked Gunther to lose to Jey via tap-out. Things only got worse from there. Jey's World Heavyweight title reign wasn't taken well, and he had to drop the gold within 2 months back to Gunther. Even though Jey's father, Rikishi, criticized Jey Uso's loss against Gunther, it was a decision that was seemingly taken for the larger interest of the company. The whole idea of putting over Jey as a World Heavyweight champion nosedived miserably. The company shall not put Jey once again in the title picture spot and take the risk once again. It could have been better if a superstar like CM Punk, who was also in the race to win the Rumble match, had been booked for the win against John Cena. Number 2. Karrion Kross exit from WWE. Karrion Kross's departure from WWE at a time when he was immensely over with the fans would go down as one of the worst moments of 2025. Kross, ironically, left at a time when he started getting massive reception from the fans. It was believed that WWE would do everything to make him stay. However, that wasn't the case. His contract expired on August 10, 2025, along with his wife Scarlett's, and both left the company on the same day. Kross later revealed that the company did offer him another contract, but withdrew it after he demanded clarification on certain terms in the contract. Even though he has expressed his desire to come back to the promotion if things work out between the two parties, it doesn't appear that Triple H would sign him back once again, or at least in 2026. His departure came at a crucial time, and the fans resented it, and without a doubt this would go down as one of the worst moments of 2025. Number 3. Travis Scott's intervention in the main event of WrestleMania 41. Travis Scott got involved in John Cena and Cody Rhodes' storyline from Elimination Chamber 2025. He was with the Rocket Chamber when Cena turned heel. However, when Travis Scott came out alone in the final moments of the main event of WWE WrestleMania 41, the fans went mad. Scott's appearance without The Rock invited intense criticism from the fans. The final boss, who was instrumental in leading to Cena's heel turn, was absent from the scene, and Travis Scott tried to fill in his spot. His intervention went horribly wrong, as the main event of WrestleMania 41 was heavily criticized. Even Drew McIntyre criticized Scott's presence at WrestleMania 41 main event. The company understood what went wrong, and since then, the rapper hasn't been seen in WWE, and there are chances that Travis Scott will not be seen anytime soon in WWE. Number 4. John Cena losing his retirement match by tapping out. The worst moment of 2025 would undoubtedly be John Cena losing his last match in WWE by tapping out to Gunther at Saturday night's main event. Cena hadn't tapped out to any superstar in the last 21 years. He resonated his catchphrase of "never give up" in his matches. However, the company chose to end his legacy by making him lose by tapping out in the last match of his wrestling career. The finish of the match wasn't anticipated by the fans. It was expected that Cena might put over Gunther, but hardly anybody anticipated that the creative team would push the champ to tap out. The fans became extremely angry with this finish, and they started booing Triple H when he came out along with his wife, Stephanie McMahon. However, Hunter was unfazed by the criticism. He stated that this was a decision taken in the interest of the future of this business. He even went on to mock the fans, saying that he was surprised that they didn't throw things at him after Cena's match. Being the head of the creatives of the company, Hunter has sent the message wide and clear. He will make big decisions and won't bow down to the fans' criticism. Be that as it may, WWE might have a lot of surprises for next year. With Brock Lesnar and AJ Styles' retirements in speculation by next year, it will be interesting to see how WWE handles the final matches of these two superstars. The Rock is done with the WWE. It's been exactly 275 days since The Rock appeared in WWE. He was last seen in the promotion on March 2nd, 2025, at WWE Elimination Chamber PLE. The final boss was the key force behind John Cena's heel turn. It was expected that he would be with Cena in this entire retirement tour. However, he vanished from the scene thereafter. He didn't even show up at WrestleMania 41's main event, and what the fans got was Travis Scott appearing in the main event. The final boss anticipated that he would show at least at John Cena's last match at Saturday night's main event on December 13th, 2025. However, just 3 days before the event, Rock uploaded a social media video in which he praised Cena for his contribution to the business. The video finally dawned on the fans that the final boss would be there at SNME. While legends like Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, Rob Van Dam, Mark Henry, and Trish Stratus were there to see Cena perform in his last match, The Rock was nowhere to be seen. And it's pretty clear now, The Rock would not appear in WWE, and he was largely done with the promotion. The Rock's absence from the Elimination Chamber PLE, following his non-appearance, is one of the biggest signs that he has no intention of being creatively involved with WWE. He is okay with being a decision-maker as a TKO head, but doesn't want to be involved in the storylines. He defended his absence from WrestleMania 41, saying that he didn't want the attention to be on him at Mania, but rather for Cody Rhodes and John Cena. However, that hasn't satisfied the WWE universe, and they think that Rock himself backed out from appearing at WrestleMania 41 main event. The fans don't even ask for The Rock's return, which is another sign that the final boss might not think of coming back to the promotion. Rock congratulated Roman Reigns on winning the Ula Fala from Solo Sikoa at Raw's debut episode on Netflix earlier this year. He even garlanded him with the prestigious necklace. It was believed that there would be a follow-up to this storyline, and Rock could enter into a feud with Roman Reigns to snatch the Ula Fala after turning on him. However, there was no follow-up on from him with Roman Reigns. The company might have dropped the storyline after possibly getting the word that the TKO head doesn't want to be creatively involved with Reigns at the moment. Therefore, no follow-up on this storyline was another hint that The Rock was done with WWE and doesn't want to make any further appearances. Another reason why The Rock shall not make appearances in WWE is that he has a number of Hollywood projects to work on and might not find time for appearances in WWE. Returning to WWE would not mean just a one-off appearance, but it would mean that he would have to give significant attention to the storyline development and even train for 1 or 2 matches. He took 3 to 4 months of training before wrestling at WrestleMania 40. At the age of 53, he will need more training to wrestle in a WWE match. He has a list of Hollywood projects that might go on the floors in 2026. They are Moana, Jumanji, The Final Level, Untitled Jumanji Sequel, Fast and Furious 11, and Lizard Music. His schedule for 2026 looks completely packed, and there are fewer chances of him appearing in WWE. Devastating news on Dominic Mysterio. There is some worrying news for Dominic Mysterio. The Intercontinental Champion has been pulling off double duty with commitments in WWE and AAA as the Mega Champion. Dirty Dom competed at AAA's Guerra de Titanes event on December 20th, where he teamed with El Grande Americano against Rey Mysterio and Rey Fenix. However, the ending of the match saw suffer what looked like a shoulder injury. It was then reported by Brian Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Radio that the Raw star was going to get examined by a doctor this week to assess what the issue was with his shoulder. Now, there is a concerning update regarding Dom's status. The Judgment Day member was removed from WWE's December 26th live event in Baltimore. This fueled concern that his injury might be more serious than expected. Dominic was scheduled to team with Liv Morgan in a mixed tag match against Rey Mysterio and Rhea Ripley at the event. However, as the show began, that match was not on the card. Instead, fans got to see Rey Mysterio take on Grayson Waller in a singles match to kick off the night. While WWE hasn't officially given an update on Dom's injury, him being pulled out of a live event suggests the issue could be more serious than expected. The finish of the AAA tag team match on Saturday saw Penta headbutt Dominik Mysterio, using a foreign object hidden in his mask. Rey Mysterio then hit him with a 619 to secure the win. After the match, Dominik left the ring while holding his shoulder. Earlier, it was unclear when he suffered the injury. However, a video shared online revealed the possible moment when he hurt his shoulder. Dominik Mysterio went for a stalling suplex on his father, but Rey countered it with a DDT. This was the moment when he awkwardly landed on his shoulder and was seen clutching it immediately after impact. Oba Femi's sudden push comes under question. Former WWE manager Dutch Mantel recently spoke about Oba Femi. The 27-year-old star has made an impact with his recent appearance on the main roster. John Cena wanted his final show to be an opportunity for younger talent to showcase their skills. This led to WWE putting several NXT stars on the card. The current NXT champion showed up to face Cody Rhodes in a non-title singles match. During a recent episode of Storytime with Dutch Mantel, the wrestling veteran mentioned that Femi had the look to make him a huge box office attraction for the company. However, he felt that the star still needed to develop. Dutch admitted that he saw the ruler in action during his match at Cody, but there was nothing that stood out for him. Well, he has the look. I think he has the interview if they give him some good stuff, Mantel said. Okay, my first look at him talking. The jury is still out on my opinion of him. I've seen the name, but I haven't seen him work that much. I saw a little bit of what he did in the match, but there's nothing that I can say that jumped out at me. During this week's SmackDown, WWE aired a vignette for current NXT champion Oba Femi. This led to speculations that the star may be bound for the blue brand in the near future. The WWE Universe saw Oba Femi's strength firsthand when he competed against Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event on December 13th. The two-time NXT champion went toe-to-toe with the undisputed WWE champion during the matchup. The two stars put on an instant classic in their first ever encounter. However, there was no conclusive end to the match as the encounter was disrupted by Drew McIntyre. However, the ruler made a huge impact with his presence. Roman Reigns WrestleMania opponent revealed. Roman Reigns' opponent at WrestleMania 42 has been possibly revealed. The OTC one has been away from WWE TV since competing in the War Games match at Survivor Series. With the road to WrestleMania getting closer as we head into the new year, there is a lot of speculation on where Reigns will be on the marquee card in Las Vegas. Having featured in multiple main events at the show of shows, it is expected that the Tribal Chief will once again be under the spotlight. Now, a report from Wrestling Observer newsletter, W.On., has provided an update on whom Reigns could face on the show. Dave Meltzer noted that the initial plan was to have Reigns face Seth Rollins in the main event of one of the nights. Meltzer noted that the last time he asked about Rollins, the option was still open, but it was far from a sure thing. However, with the visionary himself stating that he is 3 to 4 months away from a return, that match is looking unlikely. The report added that as a title match, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns is looking likely for the show in April. The Tribal Chief has faced the American Nightmare twice at WrestleMania in one-on-one matches. Both stars have one win over each other at the grandest stages of them all. Amid his WWE hiatus, Roman Reigns made a special appearance just before Christmas. The former Universal Champion delivered pizzas to sick children at the hospitals in South Florida. An Instagram user uploaded a photo of Reigns and thanked the WWE star for his efforts. The user also called Reigns a true life hero. WWE fans will now await his return to action as the anticipation toward Royal Rumble and WrestleMania starts building. A WWE star breaks silence after a backstage attack. This week's episode of WWE SmackDown saw a sudden backstage attack on a newly crowned champion. After blindsiding Carmelo Hayes minutes after his United States Championship win, Johnny Gargano has broken his silence on the subject. Melo was speaking to Kathy Kelly in an interview where he thanked Ilya Dragunov for elevating the U.S. Championship and giving him a chance to compete for it fairly. Just then, Johnny Gargano attacked Hayes. Before walking away, the DIY member said Melo ruined everything and claimed the U.S. title as his own. Taking to X shortly after the ambush, Gargano tweeted a screen grab from WWE's broadcast of the attack and wrote, "The heart, the soul. Now I'm back to take my throne." This is the first time the former WWE Tag Team Champion has shown an active interest in the United States Championship. Before this, it was his teammate Tommaso Ciampa, who was persistently after Dragunov in the championship. Ilya Dragunov continued the United States Championship Open Challenge every week on WWE SmackDown after dethroning Sami Zayn. On December 5th, 2025, Carmelo Hayes challenged the Mad Dragon, but lost after DIY's interference. When Dragunov found out that Melo had been compromised, he decided the 31-year-old deserved another chance. The Mad Dragon overcame Tommaso Ciampa the following week, as he had been seeking a title shot for a long time. After this, he teamed up with Hayes to defeat DIY in a doubles match last week. Once the heel tag team had been taken care of, Dragunov and Hayes had a fair fight this Friday. The final moments of the match saw Carmelo Hayes counter a top rope jump by Dragunov with his first 48 move. He then climbed the top rope himself and landed his finisher, nothing but net, to pin the champ and dethrone him. The Mad Dragon showcased brilliant sportsmanship after his loss by putting the title around Melo's waist himself and raising his hand before the crowd. It would be interesting to see what lies ahead for Hayes as he will enter 2026 with his first main roster championship. A huge WWE return is planned for 2026. A huge WWE return is reportedly planned for 2026. The promotion is currently building towards Raw's first anniversary show on Netflix on January 5th, 2026. According to a new report from Post Wrestling, WWE is reportedly planning on bringing a major PLE back to Puerto Rico. Backlash 2023 took place in Puerto Rico, and the promotion will be running it back again next year. The report also mentioned that Backlash 2026 was expected to air live from San Juan, Puerto Rico on May 9th, 2026. A source with access to the internal calendar for the company informed the publication of the date for Backlash 2026. The PLE is slated to take place 3 weeks after WrestleMania 42 next year. Popular musician Bad Bunny defeated Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight at Backlash 2023 and got an incredible response from the crowd in attendance. SmackDown star Damian Priest recently commented on Bad Bunny potentially returning to WWE. The Archer of Infamy is currently in a rivalry with Aleister Black on the Blue brand. Speaking with TMZ Sports earlier this year, the former World Heavyweight Champion discussed the possibility of the popular musician returning to the ring and noted that he was always welcome in WWE. Whenever he's Bad Bunny ready, that's up to him as far as when he's ready physically and mentally. Easy for me to say next week, but he has to be actually ready. And I know the way he is, he'd want to do it properly and train properly. So, whenever he's down, he's always welcome, said Damian Priest. Damian Priest reunited with his former Judgment Day stablemate Rhea Ripley on the December 12th edition of SmackDown in a mixed tag team match. Priest and Ripley, the Terror Twins, defeated Aleister Black and Zelina Vega earlier this month on the Blue brand. Only time will tell if Bad Bunny makes an appearance at Backlash 2026 next year in Puerto Rico. Terrible news for Drew McIntyre. There is some bad news for Drew McIntyre. The Scottish psychopath has been feuding with Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship for months, but has failed to capture the title. This week on SmackDown, McIntyre once again challenged the American Nightmare and this time added a stipulation. He revealed that the championship match will take place on January 9th, 2026 in Berlin and will be a 3 stages of hell match. This comes after 2 previous failed attempts to win the WWE title. While this stipulation has raised stakes and hope that McIntyre will finally come out on top for once, former former WWE announcer Jonathan Coachman doesn't believe it will happen. On Behind the Turnbuckle Studios' Coach and Bro, a fan asked what the Scottish Warrior had done backstage, considering how he isn't able to win a big match. Responding to this, Jonathan Coachman claimed that he has a tip and that McIntyre won't beat Rhodes in Berlin. "I got a little tip. He's going to get hosed once again," he said. This doesn't bode well for McIntyre, who has already lost to Rhodes in title matches at WrestlePalooza, and most recently at Saturday night's main event XLI in November. The main segment on SmackDown saw Cody Rhodes confront Drew McIntyre with general manager Nick Aldis in the ring. McIntyre tried to goad Rhodes into attacking him, which would have led to him being stripped of the title, as per a condition laid earlier by Aldis. However, the Scottish-born star continued to make personal remarks, bringing in the WWE champion's wife and kids into the argument. McIntyre then mentioned the late Dusty Rhodes, and it proved to be the final straw. However, Drew McIntyre ended up laying Rhodes out with a Claymore kick and held up the title to end the show. The WWE issues public statement after Drew McIntyre verbally assaults Cody Rhodes' wife. WWE superstar Drew McIntyre went overboard during a promo on this week's episode of SmackDown. The Scottish psychopath made full use of his immunity to physical attacks from Cody Rhodes when he landed a vicious remark about Brandi Rhodes. Following this, WWE posted an update. Drew McIntyre said that the American Nightmare was upset that he had infiltrated his tour bus because his family also lives there sometimes. He noted, however, that Rhodes was making a fuss because his family wasn't there during the ambush. McIntyre also added that he wished it weren't the case and that everyone had been present. The former World Heavyweight Champion said he would have beaten the undisputed champion up in front of his kids and shown Brandi Rhodes what a real daddy looks like. Following this remark, WWE's official X account posted the clip of this segment with the caption, "Keep his wife's name out of your mouth, D. McIntyre, WWE, Cody Rhodes." The Scottish Warrior didn't stop escalating the situation and was trying to provoke Cody Rhodes to hit him. Had the American Nightmare landed a blow, he would have been stripped of his undisputed championship. Aside from immunity to physical attacks, Drew McIntyre also received the privilege of deciding the conditions and stipulations of a title match against Cody Rhodes. After his verbal jab about Brandi Rhodes, the Scotsman revealed that he wants to fight for the undisputed championship in Berlin, Germany. McIntyre chose 3 stages of hell as the stipulation for the match. Landing a final verbal blow on Rhodes, the Scottish psychopath asked the champ to say hi to his deceased father, Dusty Rhodes, once he sent him to hell. The American Nightmare snapped upon hearing this and pushed away Nick Aldis, who was trying to hold him back. However, that brief window allowed McIntyre to land a Claymore on Rhodes. It would be interesting to see whether Drew McIntyre can finally win a world title again.